Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Sharpshooters Podcast, everybody. I'm your humble and gracious host, Mr. Brinsky Sharp, on the ones, twos, threes, fours, and the fives and the six. Appreciate everybody in here right now. Just running a little behind. I about to say didn't want to leave y'all waiting too long. So definitely wanted to start the show. But Coach Sean and them should be here any minute. But of course, I just wanted to start the show and just like I said, not waste you guys' time, man. Um, let me see who all up in here. James, what's going on, man? Roll Tide, Huggy. Oh man, you know it's all about the tide over here, baby. It's all about the tide and everything else but them weak old Auburn fans. Of course, my man Gil up in the house. Gil, what's going on, man? Appreciate y'all coming on, man. Everybody come on in. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Like I said, Coach Sean being here in a minute. I just didn't want to keep everybody waiting, man. Of course, Trap Panel, what's going on, brother? What's going on? What's going on? How you feeling? How you feeling? Everybody good? Everybody good? Up in the his house. Of course, who else I got up in here? BSG, my boy down South Georgia boy. What's going on, man? What's going on? Jason, what's going on, dog? Good to see you, man. Hey, man, I meant to say something to you, man. We gave y'all boys belt the ass, but shout out to y'all, man. Especially shout out to my boy Nard, man. Appreciate y'all coming down. Definitely happy to see him. But y'all boys gonna have a good season. Also, shout out to JT, man. He gonna be a dog out there. He should be rising up in them rankings too. Who else we got on here? Yeah. Who else we got? Gil. I already said Gil. All bums. All bums. That's what they is, Gil, for real. Straight up. Latoya, what's going on? What's going on? Uh oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hold on. What do you say, Huggy? Rooster Mac in this junk. Man, whatever, man. Appreciate everybody showing love, man. Of course, man, everybody gonna pull up in here, man. Just waiting on Coach Sean. We're gonna definitely get into this schedule. Gonna hit every game. And also, I told you y'all make it fun. This is pretty much like the dead period. Whatever y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat and we definitely would talk about it because I like to engage with you guys and just talk about what's going on in the sport and seeing what's out there, especially in recruiting. I love recruiting a lot. So it's all good, man. Like I said, man, make sure you tell a friend to come on over here to the Sharpshooters podcast, man. Support the channel, support the channel, support the channel because we wouldn't uh, be here without you guys, and tell a friend to tell a friend. But let me see what I'm gonna start with in just by time until Coach Sean get up in here. We could talk about recruiting this week. Of course, the guys that's coming to visit. Larry, what's going on, man? What's going on? Like I said, man, everybody come on in. Make sure they hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you guys tell me what you want to talk about in the chat. And definitely, we're gonna tackle that for real. But recruiting this weekend, Alabama had a bunch of visitors on the trail this week. Heavy names like Jet Washington, Nolan Wilson out of Mississippi, just to name a couple. Man, big time guys that we can add in this cycle for real. Jet is a dog in that safety backfield. I think he ranges like 6'4", and he's not going to stop growing height wise, man. He's going to be a dog back there. So if we can pick him up and pair him, I would say with possibly Ivan Taylor, then you're gonna have Deshaun Lee and then Jordan Edmonds. Man, Lord have mercy. That's almost like Legion of Boom times two, but taller, man. So you had those type of guys back there, man. You're gonna really have to throw the ball precise. You're not throwing it over nobody's head for real. So that's gonna be crazy, man, for real. Who else? We had, like I said, Nolan Wilson, who is a dog on that D line, man. We definitely need more guys on that line for real. So definitely need to get those type of guys in here. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I think he's up in here. I'm gonna wait till he put his face on screen before I bring him up. You ready, Coach? He ready to come up. Man, y'all already know my player, my partner, my dog, Coach Sean is in the building. And what's going on, man?
Man, just walked through the door, brother. I apologize for my tardiness.
Man, it's no big deal. I just ain't want to keep them waiting.
Yeah,
While they was here, I said I can hold it down, man. I can talk a little bit.
Facts, man.
Yeah, man. I was just telling them about the guys in recruiting, man. That we had coming to the building this week. Jet Washington and Nolan Wilson.
Yeah.
Just to name a couple of guys that's in here, and especially I asked Coach Sean, because I know he's not heavy on the recruiting wise, because it's hard to be heavy on the recruiting wise when somebody can just leave out the door the next year. But what I asked him to do is to like give a breakdown of these players, especially on the D line, because I love his breakdowns on the D line, especially with Coach Al and Coach Carl. And speaking of Coach Carl, everybody, y'all just keep Coach Carl in your prayers.
Thanks, man.
He's going through some right now, but he's feeling better, and we're gonna continue to pray for him to get better, so he can be right back up here with us, talking that noise, and having a lot of Auburn fans mad and having a lot of Alabama fans happy. So definitely, man, appreciate it.
Facts. Facts
And
on Coach Carl, man. Facts on Coach Carl. Love our broski for death, for life. You know what I'm saying? And me and my family put them prayers in for our brother last night and this morning. And I know everything gonna be good, man. You know what I mean? He's a believer and he gonna be just fine. You watch.
oh yeah, man. And definitely, man, y'all already know, man. Shout out to my boy Alabama. Hit up. Boy, dropping some of that major heat, man. He been up on that Diddy trial, been
Yeah.
on that Megan Thee Stallion, always up on all the street stuff, man. Definitely one of the best channels I love to watch, man. Definitely y'all give a follow. Well, subscribe to his channel, man. Follow all that stuff, man. Great breakdown. Real dope brother, man. Real good brother. Shout out to you, man. And continue to keep striving, dog, because you are killing it. And it's only a matter of time before you get major, because you already major now. Got Oklahoma fan Bishop in here. What's going on, player?
Yes, up.
Oh, and of course, Coach Carl, man. Shout out to you.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Blessings. Oh man, definitely appreciate you, dog. That's what I said, man. It's gonna be more folks coming to check you out, man. You always shout me out. And I'm just happy that you are on here. But like I said, Coach, whatever one you want to start off with and tell the folks about I think it was Nolan Wilson. I told you to look at first.
Yeah, man. I looked at Nolan Wilson. I looked at the other young man, Titan, and you know, it's pros and cons for both them young kids. Um, young kids, man, but very, very, very good at what they do. Did some research on them kids, good students. Kids ain't troublemakers. Kids can play the game like it's supposed to be played. When I looked at Nolan, kid had real good size, man. Real good size. Extremely quick. For a defensive lineman, kid was athletic as hell, right? You know, if you play on the D line and you're athletic enough to play on the kickoff team, you're pretty damn athletic. You know what I'm saying? To even be able to get downfield like that in kickoff coverage was very impressive. Good size, good height, light, very, very light to play defensive line, but that lightness, I think will help him going into college. He has the frame to put on a lot of weight. Kid uses his hands really, really well, man. Really good punch coming off the line of scrimmage. First step is very, very, very quick. Understands how to get skinny when he's being double teamed. I think his biggest attribute is his speed right now. Kid seems to be more athletic than technical at this stage of his development. it's very, very rare, man, to see defensive linemen this athletic. With a year in the weight room, this kid can be absolutely a monster. If I had to put any kind of cons on the kid, and this is not bad at all these are things that definitely, if this is all the kid has to work on, it tells you how far along this kid is, right? Plays high at times. I noticed he played a little high at times, which is all high school defensive linemen, right? Very rarely do you see defensive linemen, because most of the time these defensive linemen be more athletic and better than some of the offensive linemen, than most of the offensive linemen they go against. So a lot of times they use just the athletic ability to get by. I think he needs more lower body strength. I did notice when he went against some kids who had almost his size, it was kind of like a stymie, right? That tells you he needs a little bit more lower body strength. I think he got to develop a secondary move playing into the SEC. I think you just can't get by with that swipe and swim, that swim move in the SEC. You got to have a secondary move to be great. And he got to learn how to keep that pad level low. In the SEC, these offensive linemen, especially the elder offensive linemen, the upperclassmen, like the juniors and seniors, are very, very, very crafty, very, very, very good. He got to learn to keep that pad level low. So all these things are coachable, right? This kid's first step is lightning quick. If you put him about 25 pounds on, maybe 30 pounds, get him up about 270, 280, this kid will be crazy, stupid good, which he has the perfect frame for that with his height. This kid is an absolute beast, man. I think those small things will take him a long way in college. And if Alabama's fortunate to get a kid like this, that is as quick as this kid is coming off the defensive line at the 3 and the 5, I think we'll be hella lucky to get this young man.
Yeah, my bad. Almost spoke on mute. But I also asked Coach Al to speak on it too. And I told him if he couldn't make it on, because I really wanted to get you guys' perspective on it. And he said Nolan is naturally twist up guy with great length, love his physical traits that will lead to a wolf position. From the film I've seen on him, he's definitely an edge, pure speed guy. But to play wolf, he'll need to learn to stand up and play in space.
Yep.
A lot to learn. I kind of see tracking like Noah Carter. If he comes in early, I can see him as a freshman special teams player while he learns the nuances of the wolf position. Love his natural ability.
Facts.
So pretty much you got on the same page with him, man. So
all facts, man.
Yeah, man, that's a great breakdown by you two, for real. And I spoke on those guys because I remember you and him really spoke on that D line. Like we need more guys in those trenches. And I think Titan is another guy that we are high on. I really haven't heard anybody else except the guy you been high on. I forgot his name just that quick. Who you been high on?
To the kid at Georgia?
No, it's well, no. I definitely want you to hit on Elijah Griffin, but not Elijah Griffin. It's somebody in Alabama.
Oh, the Ruffin kid. The Ruffin kid. I think his name is Emmanuel Ruffin, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Kid, yes.
So before we get into that one, you can talk about Titan real quick, and then get on Ruffin.
Yeah, man. This is where we miss our brother Coach Carl, the defensive guy. Me and Al are offensive guys, but we know, just from dealing with the defense. But when you look at Titan, man, another kid very similar to Nolan. Kid that very fast with his hand in the dirt, man. Very fast with his hand in the dirt. Another kid that's extremely athletic, man. These kids are very, very, very athletic, very twitchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think at this stage he's quite the athlete that Nolan was, but I do think this kid uses his hands better. I think he's better with his hands. I understand. I think this kid's what we call bench pressing the offensive lineman, extending the offensive lineman out to see where the play is going and getting rid of him. He shares blocks very, very well, very, very well, possibly better than Nolan. I think Nolan is a slightly better athlete, but I think this kid shed blocks very well. Another kid that's speed quick, man. First step is off the change, man. This what I like about this kid is he understands how to play with leverage. His shed and block, it gives you that edge all day long, man. That tells you he can play on the edge. It tells you that he's fast enough and agile enough to play on the edge. I love these kids, man, because the lower body strength will be easy to come. I was always one of the guys that rather had a kid with the upper body strength first, because I know the lower body strength can be added like that. Lower body strength can be added like that. That upper body strength, sometimes if kids don't have it, they may or may not develop it till later on in their career. So I really like this kid, man. I see he's going after these defensive linemen that can really get off the ball and cause havoc. If I had to have some cons, these kids really have a lot of highlights. That's why I don't like breaking down huddle film, because it's how highlights, right? But if you notice, they don't have a lot of plays where the run is running right at them. It's mostly pass rushing, stuff like that. And most of the runs that they did have, it always to the edge, right? What I noticed that he's very aggressive chasing down the offensive players, but I didn't see a lot of film on him of offenses running right at him. I want to know how he reacts when they're coming downhill at him, right? It's just like a big man who likes to be finesse. I need to see you down in the paint. I need to see you on the low block when somebody putting them elbows on you. I need to see how you react when a team is running downhill. Can you get off blocks quick enough? He shed blocks in the stretch zone plays, chasing those down. But I would love to see these guys high school film, whether they can shed blocks quick enough when they're coming right at them. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely love these kids. I think these kids are agile. I think they fit what Coach DeBoer and Coach Womack want in an agile, fast defense. Kids that understand how to get skinny on the double teams. Kids that understand leverage. Kids that understand how to beat blocks and how to shed your man and get to the quarterback. This kid lined up in 2 or 3 different spots and couldn't nobody block him, right? And so if you get any one of these kids, or in a perfect world, both of these kids, that's a huge plus for Alabama. Both of these kids have room to grow. Both of these kids have room to put weight on and get more agile and get stronger in the program. And you can't go wrong with either one of them.
Oh, yeah, man. Big facts. Coach Carr said, I see he's a tracker, not downhill attacker.
Facts. That exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. Coach Carr, exactly as I said. I seen he loved tracking the ball. He loved chasing down the backside plays, the front side play. But I didn't see a lot of them running downhill at him. And Coach Carr know how that huddle film is. That's why I like to watch the game tape, because you can't hide on the game tape.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I compare these kids to Elijah Griffin, the kid that went to Georgia. Now this kid is just as athletic as these kids, but this kid is about 40 pounds heavier than these kids. I think Elijah Griffin's about 6'4", 310 pounds, man. And what I liked about his highlight tape is he had several plays where he stopped the run and stopped the pass, right? He showed several times where they was running dive plays, trap plays, and he destroyed the lineman in front of him with leverage, with speed. And what I liked about that kid is you could tell he's college ready from the waist down. Thick kid, really solid, really strong in the lower body. He know how to anchor and get rid of the offensive lineman, play in the gap, can play head up. A lot of different schematically schemes. He's versatile, fast enough to get to the quarterback from the edge or from inside. So I compare them to him, and I think the only difference is that kid is heavier. It looks a little stronger in his lower body and look a little stouter against the run right now. But if you can get any one of those kids, Nolan or any of the young men that we went over, man, Titan or Nolan, you are a blessed team, man. You're a blessed football team to have those kids with that type of athletic ability.
And that's why he was a 5-star everywhere.
Yeah.
And highly coveted defensive tackle, man. You can tell he's a game wrecker and a game changer for real. So Georgia definitely got them one with him. And man, from everything that I have heard from him being in Georgia camp, like he's that next one up, and you can see a lot of playing time even as a freshman. So that tells you how good he has been. And they probably ain't had those type of guys probably since Jalen Carter for real. Like a game record that can really take over a game. So man, it's definitely gonna be interesting how this recruitment gonna go. But I'm touch on one other person that you said. Now, if it was anybody in this class, and you don't even have to pick the guy that you just said, but if it was anybody in this class, I know you know defensive line wise that you want to see in this class the most, who would that be?
Emmanuel Ruffin.
Okay.
Emmanuel Ruffin. I love to have these kids we're talking about now, but if we can some type of way get that kid, Emmanuel Ruffin, I'll be ecstatic with that for the simple fact that this kid is a space eater. This kid understands just everything I was just talking about earlier. Kid gets off the line of scrimmage exceptionally well, can play the run, can play the pass, extremely strong in the lower body. I feel like you can't go wrong with that kid, and he's right here in our backyard, man. If for me, it'd be, I'd be happy with any one of these kids, but if I can just get that kid, Emmanuel Ruffin, I think that's laying the foundation to the house that you want.
Yeah, man. And also, man, we definitely got to well, they're doing a lot better this year in state anyway. You always want to have a stronghold in your state, pretty much plant that flag in the state. And of course, they get a pass last year because they just got here late.
Facts.
But you can tell by the way this class is shaping up and other classes down the line. Like, man, they have integrated with a lot of these coaches. Very, very familiar with their players. Especially in the 2026 class. Of course, ain't no telling how the 27 and 28 class is. So you really developing guys. So I'm really intrigued to see how they're gonna finish it off. Like I was telling everybody, we got Jet Washington playing safety back there. He's a good kid too that I wouldn't mind seeing in his class. So I know we talk a lot about Sedarian, we talk a lot about EJ. Griffin getting a lot of noise now, being that 5-star linebacker, middle linebacker, which a lot of people are saying that he can be that one for us that we I feel like Jihad was that guy, but it's a lot with the defensive line too. Everybody has to play their part for everybody to shine. So yeah, man, I just can't wait to see how this class gonna finish everything off.
Facts.
But of course, everybody, we said was gonna get to this schedule too. So we're gonna break down every single game for the most part. So some gonna take longer than others. And I think if you want to tackle Florida State, I feel like we tackled Florida State like a million times already because it's the first game. But first home game, of course, September 6th against Louisiana Monroe. What you I don't know how we're gonna break them down, but anyway, we can just talk about what you expect, what you want to see, or whatever.
The way I usually do it, I take it in threes. Like I'll do Florida State, ULM, Wisconsin.
There you go.
And in threes, I'll see, do you see any potential losses? Now, this is not saying, nah, we're not gonna lose, but it's saying where's the possibilities of a loss? Do you see any possibility, right? And for me, I don't really see a possibility of us losing to Florida State or Wisconsin, to be quite honest. I just don't. That's not being big-headed. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, Katrina and Coach Carl and James and Matt Farms and everybody, man. Much love to all y'all, man. Huggy Beard up in here, man. Shout out Bishop, Larry, exactly, man. Alabama Hitters, everybody, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. So when you look at that first couple 3 games, Florida State, who will be ready to play us because it's Alabama. They already feeling disrespected because the game is not in prime time. ULM, who will be coming in here with a nice team. Don't get it wrong. I know a small school, but a nice team. Wisconsin, who will be much improved from last year, coming in Tuscaloosa. I just don't see us losing any of those three, man. Humbly speaking. That's humbly speaking, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not big-headed or anything, right, Coach Carl? That's just humbly speaking. You got to play the game. I think the next three is where we're gonna really get into some conversation. If you look at the first three games, I see us getting out of those three games. You know, Wisconsin will challenge us up front, but I see us getting out of those games unscathed, man. Florida State will be a challenge. They'll be better than last year, just for the simple fact that it's Alabama. They don't want to come out and get embarrassed, especially after the year they had. They'll try to play us tough, and I don't take nothing from them. It's at home. They'll be hype as hell to play. Tallahassee going to be rocking. But I do see us going 3-0 in that stretch, man, in a perfect world. I think these next three games after the bye week is when we're going to get into some potential. Ready Rock, what's going on with your homie? You know, I think if you're going on potential, the Georgia game is a potential loss. We should win the game. We all know that as fans, but we do these in threes. Just how many potential losses do you see? These guys are tired of hearing Alabama beat them, and you know, I was talking crazy to one of them fans today. I was at the Cheesecake Factory talking crazy to him, but the only loss I see in that next three, B Sharp, is really Georgia. Missouri is going to be tough. They'll come out. They got some experienced players coming back. Vanderbilt, care what you think about them with that scheme. It won't be no cakewalk. But I think the Vanderbilt game will grab our attention just as much as the Georgia game will. But I think if we're going on potential, give me what you think, man. I think the Georgia game, to me, is the only real potential loss I see in those next three games.
Yeah, man, because big time matchup. We pretty much get the same type of caliber players. Kirby built that team up to be like a Nick Saban team, of course. And man, we're going down there to them hedges, man, down there in Athens, Georgia, to a night game. So you definitely got to see this team on the road. Man, it's gonna be an interesting game, especially with Gunnar Stockton having the reins now with a year under his belt as a starter. They still have guys like Zachariah Branch coming in, who is a very, very good wide receiver, 5-star wide receiver coming out of high school. Players like Tyreek Hill, and he's fast like that. So definitely have to watch how he plays in that game. Got to see how the running game gonna be with Nick Frazier. So that's going to be a real interesting game, and we can definitely potentially lose that game.
You definitely can if you don't come to play, man. Going into Georgia, B Sharp, is going to be a nut house, man. It's going to be a nut house. They're going to have the lights pumping just like Bama. That crowd going to be, you know, not saying we're going to lose, guys. We're just saying we're trying to take the schedule in threes, and we're just saying potential losses to see how many losses we come up with potentially at worst case scenario on the year. I think the Vanderbilt game will not sneak up on nobody this year. That scheme will be just as hard, but I really believe they embarrassed Bama last year, man, and they're coming into Tuscaloosa. So I think the players will be locked in for that game, locked in completely.
Oh yeah, man, it's my fault. Go ahead.
No, you good. At Missouri, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's always tough going down to Missouri. Young team, got a lot of people coming back. I can't quite call it a potential loss. I just really believe we'll overwhelm them during the game. They'll play on emotion for a little while. I really believe we just have a much better football team than Missouri. So I'm gonna go with just Georgia. What about you?
Yeah, man. I think with that Vanderbilt game, like you said, it won't be no surprise this year. I think they'll be even more focused this year, and they'll be ready for that scheme. And plus, you got guys that bought into the program more. Of course, you still had a lot of guys from the Nick Saban reign still there. One of those guys that I felt like was really pissed off that everybody didn't play to the standard, and a lot of folks were giving him a whole lot of grief. But I was like, no, he's pissed off because we're not living up to the standard, and that's Malachi Moore. I defended him. I like it may went out of line for a second, but we all knew what he was pissed off about. Like, bro, we are the standard. Why are we not playing up to the standard? This shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't be losing to Vanderbilt. I don't care who's on the other side. We should not be losing to Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So they definitely are going to be way more focused for that, especially with that crowd right there. They're going to be going crazy. That Tuscaloosa crowd is going to be going crazy that game. Only thing I would tell us to do is just really just go out there and just give it to them early. Don't even play. Just go ahead and just take care of business early. And then once you have them up, go ahead and end them. Missouri, it's going to be really, really interesting because they lost a lot of players with Luther Burden. I don't know if they got their running back. I forgot his name. Just that.
They got some front seven talent back.
Yeah, they got front seven talent back. But the guy that I'm really
corner
mad that they lost, but not mad, but I think is a bit lost by them is William Mary. I forgot. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but former 5-star D lineman, straight dog coming out of high school. He's from that Missouri area, but I think he went to Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. So Oklahoma bringing in another big time dog with him. So I don't think Missouri can keep up offensively, but they can slow us down a little bit on the defense. So, but I still don't see us losing, going up there. That's why I say it's just one of those other games. You just go up there and take care of business. When you go on these away games, man, just go up there, lights out at the beginning. Don't play around. Just try to shut that crowd up as quickly as possible, and then just try to get out of there with a W.
All facts. They lost Sam Cook, man, and they got that Boo Pribaloo or whatever his name kid is back, and Sam Horn. You know, they're gonna be itching and scratching. You know what I'm saying? But they defensive front seven got some talent, man. But DSGB said it best right there. You know, he's worried about his dogs and that young defense. What I would tell him is this, man. Here's the caveat to what I would say to him. Sure, Georgia's gonna be young at some spots, but Georgia's running the same defensive scheme they've ran for the last 4, 5, 6 years, man. Georgia will never be bad on defense. If that's what y'all looking for, you lying to yourself. Your fandom is blinding you. They'll never be bad. Now, would they be Georgia from 2 or 3 years ago? Who knows? I seriously doubt it. But make no mistake, man, their defense is going to be good enough to win in this conference. Make no mistake about it. Georgia didn't get beat last year because of their defense. It got beat because of their offense. So, you know, and everybody talking about Gunnar Stockton. Listen, man, I watched Gunnar go out and threw for like 250 against Texas. You know what I'm saying? I watched that kid take a lick that I hadn't seen a QB taking all season long. Is he, you know, as talented as past Georgia quarterbacks? Maybe not. But when you have a quarterback that the team play for, and those kids clearly play for Gunnar Stockton, right? He's gonna start. I saw how the team reacted when that kid came onto the field. He's not the most talented, but when a team rally around the quarterback like that, hey, brother, he don't have to be. Ask AJ McCarron. You know what I'm saying? That team loved AJ, right? So say what you want to say, man. You know, they might not throw the ball around the yard and all that 30 times a game, but at the same time, Georgia gonna be a dangerous team, man. They're gonna be a dangerous team. They got a rough schedule this year. And going into Georgia, listen, man, the fact that your name is Alabama, you're going to get everybody's best. Damn sure going to get Georgia's best, right? That's the equivalent of what you are right now as far as talent. You're definitely going to get their best, right? You're going to get ULM's best. So you damn sure going to get Georgia's best. The Georgia fans talk all that stuff about beating up on everybody. Well, it's one team they've not beat up on in 7 tries, and that's Alabama. You know, Alabama is 6-1, 5-1 against these dudes, man. And quite frankly, has put lashes to Georgia's asses. One of the few teams, if not the only team, to do that practically every damn year. So they itching for a scratch for this game, man. They itching for a scratch for it. Bama has got to be ready. That crowd will be the equivalent of what ours was last year. They'll be ready to play, man. Young or not, they'll be ready to play. So that to me, that's the only potential loss in that 3.
Yeah, my boy Hitter said, I'm worried about us, but I believe the quarterback IQ is going to make all the difference in our offense this year. As much as I like Miro up until 2024, I think we will be in better hands. Yeah, it all depends. That's why I said, man, I believe Ty's gonna go out there and play well, man. I believe it's just like, man, people just have a lot of critics about him because of some of the games that he played. I'm like, man, he really haven't started a game. He really haven't had a chance. But you can see, like, this is his opportunity to lose the job. It's his job to lose, pretty much. I don't care what anybody say. I know we all want to see Keelan. He is the most talented. Um, Matt got the strongest arm, but I believe that Ty is just as talented, man. That's why you have to develop these guys. Like, some just develop slower than others. I'm sorry, it just be that way. Hey, man, it's a lot of guys. It was cool. Jalen started his freshman year, but guess what? He got his job taken by somebody better.
Yeah.
So, man, you got to let these guys develop, man. He's not a finished product. Who knows if the same people that saying he's not going to do anything, man, will be the same people say they believed in him the whole time, man. If Ty lives up to expectation, the only thing I ask anybody to do is just say, okay, I was wrong, which a lot of people don't do when they are wrong on something. But like I said, he still has to prove it on the field. I believe he's a better thrower of the ball than Jalen. Jalen's the better athlete, but Ty is the better thrower of the football. I believe he's going to make great decisions. He's been going through a lot of adversity up to this point, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if he goes out there and ball, because everything that he's been through and just showing you everything that you want in a quarterback, and especially a player during this time in the NIL era, just showing you the right way to handle things. Don't be quick to run when adversity comes. Fight through it, and your time will come. But
I'll say this. And Ready Rock said it best. Georgia has only beat us 6 times since '84. True. That's why this game is so important now. That only enhances what I'm saying. They're gonna be ready to play, man. They're gonna be ready to play. Bama has had a lot of success against Georgia. Bama is practically the only school that's had a lot of success against Georgia, and for that reason, they're gonna be ready to play this game. So I think we ain't gonna be in good shape as far as Ty going and Keelan and Mac and all these other people. Man, I honestly just don't know. I know our offensive coordinator will be better. That's what I know. Logical play calling. We won't run high lows on 3rd and 3. We won't run deep digs on 3rd and 3. For me, man, I just got to put this in the simplest form. I hadn't seen enough of Ty Hayes to know what the hell. I mean, excuse me, not Ty Hayes. Shout out to our brother. Shout out to our brother Ty Hayes. I just hadn't seen enough of Ty Simpson to tell you what the hell Ty is gonna do. Right? Every time I see him, he running around like Jalen Miro. I don't know what the hell Ty gonna do. I have not. Maybe y'all know. I don't. I have not seen enough of Ty to tell you what the hell Ty is gonna do. But what I can tell you is this. You don't sit around in Alabama for 3 years waiting your turn when you could have transferred if you a punk. That's all I can tell you. He ain't no punk, man. He ain't soft. He ain't squeezably soft like Sharman. He's taken his lashes across his asses, right? He's practiced against some of the best defenses Alabama has had here of recent memory. He waited his turn. He wasn't threw off by the money. That kid is a coach's son. He ain't no punk. That's all I can tell you. He didn't chase the almighty dollar. And if you think that kid sat around in Alabama only to lose his spot to a kid who 3 or 4 years younger than him, y'all don't know how this game go. It's some pride in being the oldest cat in the room. It's some pride in that, man. And I don't think he come this far just to allow. I think that kid would rather die than give up this starting position that he probably gonna win. I honestly believe it's that serious. You don't sit at Alabama for 3 years only to have your opportunity taken from you. Go ask Mac Jones. You don't sit at Alabama to get your opportunity. You better go listen to Eminem, Lose Yourself. You got that opportunity, homie. It's right here for you. You don't sit at Alabama to go out and get your ass whipped and let some young kid take your spot. Give a damn how talented he is. Go ask Bryce Young. Go ask Mac Jones, who didn't nobody really know nothing about. So I think that's the only thing I know of. I hadn't seen enough of Ty to tell y'all. I hear people all the time, Ty gonna do this. I don't know what the hell Ty gonna do because I hadn't seen my sample size of what I've seen from him on film has not been great, right? What I do know is football is a game where you got to play with emotion. You can be emotion, you can play with emotion, but you can't be emotional. All I can know is this kid is sat on the bench and watched, and I think he rather let y'all practice football out of his unalived hands before he allow anybody to take this spot from him. I just believe that. I believe Ty Simpson is going to do whatever the hell he got to do to start, and I think he's going to have a hell of a year. That's just my opinion. Now, I don't have no fact to base that off of. I just know you don't sit at Alabama only to get passed by just because a kid comes in with all the hoopla. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, the only reason why I said that about him, man, is because I'm just basing it on history. That's really all.
Facts.
Like with those type of guys, especially in this day and age, man, you can just tell, man, he's just super focused, and there's been a lot of high praise in that locker room. Like, oh, he's carrying himself differently this year. Like, this is his team.
It's facts.
Even though it's a quarterback battle and nothing has been said, he is carrying it like it's his team.
Yeah.
So, like I said, man, he got to prove it on the field. Of course, we all know that. But I'm literally going to bet my bottom dollar. I believe he's going to come to play just because of all that adversity that he went through. He could have easily left and played somewhere else.
It's facts.
I don't think people understand that. He could have easily left and played anywhere else, but he chose to stay here. He know this is his time. I believe Ryan Grubbs is going to be the type of coach that we need in that locker room, especially for that position, because he's not going to be not as friendly as Coach DeBoer with the guys, and he just needs somebody to just get on their ass and stay on them. But he's going to be that coach, man. So, but just to get back on this schedule or whatnot, I seen a few guys come in here. Link, man, appreciate you coming in here.
Link.
Larry, I can't take credit for this, man. This Alabama.com, man. They did a nice graphic on this. I just tried to make sure it was nice enough for you guys. So shout out to the people at Alabama.com with this amazing graphic, and whoever done it, shout out to them for real.
Facts.
Now the next 3 games we had Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU. I think this is going to be the main one we talk about the most, man, because this is a nice little stretch right here, man. This is a nice little stretch right here. Of course, Tennessee coming into town. I believe that was a game that we let down last year. We should have won that game. A lot of mistakes in that game on both sides of the football. Tennessee is not coming in there with Nico as their quarterback, which I think is a good thing for them. But I don't know what their quarterback. I know the guy played at Appalachian State or whatnot, but that's Appalachian State. This is the SEC. So is he going to come in there and take over the position? I have no idea. Or they're going to start George McIntyre, the freshman, highly talented freshman coming out of the 2025 class. We soon to see. Pretty much, I would say Mike Matthews is going to be there, one of their top wide receivers coming out of the 2025 class too. And I think McCoy at defensive back is considered an All-American by a lot of sites going into the season. So, but they lost a lot of guys. and Alabama is out for blood. You can tell by how everybody's talking. For the most part, they saying just enough. They're not just talking there. You can tell how they practicing on the field based on everything out there. But what you think about that one?
That's a tough stretch, brother. That's a tough stretch. I'm just really, really elated that we got Tennessee at home and LSU at home. I don't think Tennessee gonna beat us, man. I think Tennessee is one of those games this team is gonna be hella serious about. I think the South Carolina game has potential, just like the Oklahoma game was last year. That team is gonna be ready for Alabama. They come a hair away from they come a hair on our chin away from beating us last year at home. They got the same quarterback back. Sure, they lost some people, but they also got a lot of too deep people back. They lost one of those pass rushers. They got the other one back. They lost Williams. They lost the center. You know, they lost a couple of people, but they got a lot of too deep people back, man. I was very impressed. Shout out to Gil too. Shout out to Gil, Katrina, and Link. Shout out to all those.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Facts, man. I was thoroughly impressed, man, with what I saw from South Carolina at home last year. I didn't realize that South Carolina that's the one stadium I've never been to. I didn't know their stadium was that loud, that crazy on game day. That freaking rooster cock-a-doodle-doodling and that Ric Flair entrance of theirs. You know, I did not know South Carolina was hyped like that. Let me tell you something, bro. And I said this last year about Oklahoma. Me and Ty said it. May have been you too, Brinsky. That is going to be a game you better pay attention to, bro. I'm telling you, that crowd, that team is gonna be excited to play Alabama. Nobody's probably gonna pick them to beat Alabama. You know how big of a fan I am of Garrett Nussmeier. I think he's the best quarterback in the SEC. I think they're gonna be. He had a horrible game against us last year. I think he's gonna come out and play well. I don't think their team is better than Alabama's team, and especially us at home. If this game were on the road, I'd be worried about it going into this season. Brand new quarterback on the road, going against a veteran quarterback. I think for me, the South Carolina game is my potential loss. I think Tennessee, we're going to have enough to beat them. I think the LSU game is going to be like it always is. At Alabama, it's going to be tough. They're going to come out and score some points. I think it's going to be a close game, man. That's a game I just really feel like Alabama's going to have to play well to beat that team. But I will say I'm a little more worried on the road playing South Carolina. So I'll go with South Carolina as that potential hidden loss that we talked about last year with Oklahoma.
Yeah, man. Well, Sellers as your quarterback. That only thing I would say, man, they have the home field advantage on us this year. That's the pro. I think the con for them, they lost so many guys on defense that went to the NFL draft. And I didn't realize from their safety to Kennard, from their cornerbacks. I forgot the middle linebacker that they had. He was a dog too. And I was just like, dog, man, South Carolina had some boys this year, man. And to see why it was a struggle for us to win on the offensive end that game, but even though we had a lot of games like that, we were struggling on the offensive end. But South Carolina was definitely a challenge. And if Lenore Sellers was stepping up, no, he was hurt a little bit. I don't believe if he was that hurt, we could have potentially lost that game. So that's a con for them, but a pro for us. But they do have Dylan Stewart over there, who is going to be the best edge rusher in the country, easily first team All-American, easily. So if him and Caden Proctor are lined up, Caden has to be quick on his feet and ready for him, man, because that kid is fast. He's strong and he's powerful. I think Katie can handle him on strong and powerful part, but the speed is what's going to concern me if he's on his side and probably can go around him. So that's going to be the difference. We definitely going to have to run the ball. I believe we can, based on everything that they lost. I'm not saying that they don't have guys that can step up this year that was on that bench that can step up and still continue what they had last year. But I believe we have a little edge on them by the guys that we have returning. Brian, of course, Horton, who's a big size receiver who's 6'4". Jeremy Bernard is definitely going to be a factor this year, and I need him to be a SEC first team type performer this year. Even if he just a second team performer, I believe he's going to make a big difference in this offense and definitely let Jam and Richard Young run the ball a lot more, a whole lot more, because that would take a lot of pressure off that speed rush by Dylan Stewart on those guys on the line, and that would just let the offensive line do what they do best, is run blocking. So we definitely got to run the ball. And I'm glad Link said the same thing, man. Basically said running the ball will be the key. Yeah, man. It's definitely going to be the key. So we definitely got to see.
I tell you this, bro. You know, I keep hearing people say that they lost a lot of people. Teams with returning quarterbacks scare the daylights out of me because Oklahoma had 2 starting offensive linemen when we played them from the starting game. They were down 4 or 5 receivers, right?
Mhm.
They had so many people. That was a completely different Oklahoma team. And guess what? We went in there and lost, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and this team got a quarterback who rivals Jalen Milroe. This kid is just as sticky as Jalen Milroe, just as elusive as Jalen Milroe. May not be as fast, of course, but this kid can throw the rock. We couldn't stop him last year. So teams with returning quarterbacks always scare me. Always scare me because they elevate the team. They make the people around them better, even though it's not the same people from the year before. I'm hoping that is the case, that they've lost so much to where they can't replicate how they played last year. But again, teams with quarterbacks that return scare me to death because they never seem to fall off quite as bad as we think they should.
Mhm.
Anytime you got that QB returning from a full season to start in the year before, they never seem to be worse the next year when we play them. Look at LSU with Jaden Daniels when they lost all them offensive linemen the year before. They came back with freshmen starting offensive line and beat us at LSU. So anytime you have that quarterback, you always have potential, man, for that team to be just as good. Teams that lose their quarterback, they can be good too as well if they have a lot of pieces. But definitely teams with their returning quarterback gonna win 9-10 games, guaranteed. I just believe that in my heart. That kid scared me, man. Same offensive coordinator. You know, I'm hoping we have enough talent to get us through that game on the road. But I'm gonna go with South Carolina for me as the potential loss right there.
Yeah, I still see him as a potential loss, only because like the quarterback, like you say, to your point, the next year with Bryce Young after losing the national championship,
Fact.
a lot of those games I felt like we could have lost if we didn't have Bryce.
They have Bryce, yeah.
So that's just being honest. We could have went undefeated, but at the same time, we could have lost a lot more games if
fact.
Bryce won that quarterback.
Yeah.
I'll put it like this: if we had Jalen starting at quarterback during those games, I felt like we possibly could have lost 4 games that year.
Possibly,
Bryce,
you're right.
if you think
Facts.
about the games that Bryce lost, they was pretty much last second.
Mhm.
No, literally last second
Overtime, LSU,
that last second touchdown.
Tennessee.
Matter of fact, 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
that they got.
Tennessee.
And then Tennessee with that field goal at the end, like that's an undefeated season. We going to the playoffs, and that was a really, really good team, man. It was just just games, but that Tennessee game we should not have lost. Even though Jalen Hyatt. Is his name Jalen Hyatt?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt was having a magnificent day on our secondary. We still could have won that game, but we already know what the refs did. I think a lot of folks, it's hard for anybody to admit that the refs got involved in that game.
That's facts.
But
that late pass call on Kool-Aid, that was crazy. Gave him another chance. That was crazy, man.
I try not to think about that game because that game really had me like hating Tennessee for real.
Facts.
Almost to your level of hating Tennessee. I was like, man, come on now. We got to stop this, man.
Yeah.
But right after that South Carolina game, we have a bye because those two games, thank God we having a bye going into that LSU game. Because LSU, even though they have lost a lot of guys, they haven't been playing up to the standard in the past on defense. Like you said, they returned another quarterback who can potentially be the number 1 overall pick.
That's a whole
in this year's draft, and is definitely one of, if not one, I don't think he's farther than 2, to be honest, in Nussmeier. So, man, LSU is definitely one we can watch out for because it's Alabama LSU. It doesn't matter, and I think they're gonna be out for blood too, especially how we embarrass them at their home. So they're gonna try to come to our house and not only embarrass us but cause an upset. So, what you think?
I think you're right, man. I think that game is, being the fact this is at Alabama, the team is going to play their hearts out. If the game was at LSU with the same 2 teams, I may have to call that a potential as well, man. You know, that's tough, man. You know, Nussmeier's a hell of a quarterback, bro. I said that last year. I said, now this past season, his team didn't really help him out a lot. Their running game didn't help him out a lot. Lost some games that we really kind of embarrassed him, loaded the box, put it all on him. He kind of was trying to press and do too much. I think LSU may come into this game with maybe 1 loss. They'll be in the national championship hunt. That game will be, if you ask me right now, it will be one of those ESPN games. I'm just glad it's in Tuscaloosa. That's why I didn't pick that as a potential. I really believe the South Carolina game may be a little more dangerous because it's on the road, and we know home and away matters in the SEC. Go ask Oklahoma. Go ask Vanderbilt. And if you look at that stretch, we play Georgia. The next week we play Vanderbilt. The next week we play on the road in Missouri. Then we got Tennessee at home. Then we got South Carolina on the road back to back. That is probably the most important stretch of the season, even more than the next 4 games, because we had that bye week before LSU. That's no bye week. That's 4 straight games, really 5 straight games, 2 on the road, to where you're going to have to really, really, really play your ass off. And 2 of those teams beat you last year. So that's why I picked that stretch as the most important of the season, that Georgia, Vanderbilt, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina. If you can make it through that stretch undefeated, that is one hell of a win for Alabama.
Big facts. So I just hope it's really that South Carolina game. I'm not like as worried with the LSU game, but it is in a given Saturday, man. Who's playing good this Saturday? That's really all it comes down to. Even though I'm not worried about it, you just can't just go out there and play like you playing a nobody. That's what Coach Saban always used to coach them boys. Yeah, we may be playing LSU and the guys get up for this game, and then Georgia Southern can't come out here and you barely hanging on for dear life.
That's facts.
And so you got to treat every game like it's the national championship game. Limit your mistakes. And I think we're going to do better on that end too, in limiting our mistakes. I feel like if Ty can limit his mistakes for the most part, and the defense can cause a lot of turnover, which I felt like for the past 3 years, we really haven't been getting a lot of turnover. That's why we keep getting all these long drives whatnot. We're not really stopping guys on third downs and biggest of games. More that Oklahoma game last year, Georgia game for the most part. We gotta on the key plays, we have to stop people. And if you have a potential to get a fumble, get the fumble. Stop making boneheaded plays with penalties. Like we know penalty is gonna happen. We know it's going to happen. And another thing that is like a myth that a lot of folks trying to put on Kellen DeBoer, Coach Kellen DeBoer, is that they think all the penalties and stuff started happening under him because the team was undisciplined. But a lot of that for the last 2 years came under Coach Saban.
That's facts.
And if you look at that national championship that we lost to Georgia, of course, we had a lot of guys out there dropping key passes that was easy catches and could have easily won that game. We made a lot of bonehead plays. Even in that Michigan game that we lost, we could have won another national championship that year, but just making bonehead plays. You have to limit the turnover. You have to limit the penalties, and you will have your chance to win.
All facts, man. All facts.
So
you know,
go
that's
ahead.
tough. That's tough, bro. I don't know, man. You know, it you know, a lot of these teams we play got all their staffs back. You know, I hear everybody talking about our wide receiver room and stuff like that. We got a lot of great wide receivers on this team, man. But we have the potential to be quite good on offense, quite good, probably as good as we were several years ago. We have the potential, but you just never know until the ball kicked off, man. What does potential mean? It means you are garnering an attribute that you hadn't exercised yet. So we'll see. You know, I don't know, brother. We hadn't had 1,000-yard receiver since J-Mo left and Mechie left. You know, so Jermaine Burton didn't go over 1,000 yards. Nobody last year, nobody year before. So I hear y'all, all these great receivers y'all talking about. We'll see. We gonna know soon enough.
Yeah,
soon enough. You know,
we just gotta give them the ball. I believe we just got to give them the ball. But at the same time, man, everything that we saying right now, y'all, we just speculating just like y'all.
Yeah.
And we not in there with the guys. We just going by what we see, what happened last year that caused us a lot of losses and stuff. So we don't know for the most part until the ball is kicked off. And then we can make a lot of predictions then to see how this team gonna go.
I'm sorry, my
bad.
No,
go ahead.
What's the fourth thing? Remember, this ain't rec basketball. This ain't rec football or basketball, man. You got to have 4 key things. And Gil, Coach Carl, all these coaches in the chat, they know this. You got to have 4 things, man, to make the passing game work, bro. Sure, we know the running game helps the passing game, but believe it or not, you got to have 4 essential things to make the passing game work. You got to have the correct play script, meaning your ass can't be out there throwing high lows in the coverage. Don't matter if you got Devontae out there, that ain't gonna work. You got to have play script. You got to have a quarterback. You got to have the offensive line, and you got to have a talented wide receiver to get the play done. You got to have all 4 of those things. Well, we hadn't had all 4 of those things in quite some time. You know, it's not just Ty lines up. Ty can get the ball. If your offensive line don't block, it means nothing. If your receivers can't run the right route and don't understand how to attack the top of the route and they bracket and Ryan and the other guys ain't doing jack, don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing if they playing zone, they're giving you all the underneath stuff in the world and you still trying to go deep on 9 routes, a la Nick Sheridan. Don't mean nothing. You got to have all 4 of these things, brother, to make an essential passing game work. You got to take what the defense gives you, especially on third down, right? You got to get them behind the chains, not you. That's how the passing game works. You know what I mean? Sure, the running game helps. The running games create matchups for you because they're trying to stop the running game. But you got to have your right quarterback, the right play call. The offensive line got to do their job. You know what I mean? All these things got to work, man. And you got to make sure the wide receivers are talented enough to attack the route and to sell the route and to make sure all those things fall into place. That's how the passing game works each and every down. So, you know, I hear you about the receivers. That's great. We got some great receivers. I much rather look for the offensive line to pass. I want to know how many sacks we give up in the first 3 games. I want to know what the play script is if they playing man coverage. I want to know what the play script is if they playing single high safety, right? I want to know what the play script is if they playing 2 safeties high, right? When do we run the ball? When does the running game come into play if they playing 2 safety high? The key is to make them put that other safety in the box. That's what we want. Run the ball to make them add personnel to the box. That's how you create matchups on the outside. All this stuff has got to fall in place, right? Michigan, when they played us for two times in the same year, never did nothing that they did. They didn't put nothing special in for Alabama. They didn't run no special blitzes. They lined up and they whipped their asses, single high safety all game. And when they did run 2 high safety, they stunned us and we couldn't block them. So all that means nothing. All your receivers, all your great talent don't mean nothing if everything else don't line up. And that's the truth. And the truth is in the details.
Yeah, I was waiting on it.
It's the truth, man. It's the truth.
Oh, yeah.
Say what they want to say. Ty, the receivers, Isaiah, he's 6'4". I don't care if he's 7'2". If your tackles can't block the edge rushes, means nothing. Means nothing. If your play caller calling plays that run into the teeth of the defense and ain't calling nothing to get them on their heels, and you let them play single high safety on you all game, means nothing. It means your running game is doing nothing. Nothing. So everything, one hand watch the other, man. 2 watch the face.
That's what I say, man. Brock totally agrees with you. He said, offensive line, please do your job. And Link pointed out we were number 2 in turnovers last year. Well, internal calls last year. So that's defense. But he also pointed out the problem too. The problem is we also had too many turnovers on offense. That's why I said, man, it really don't mean nothing if you turn over the ball on the offensive end. Like, yeah, just look at the Tennessee game, man. That game, we literally called 3 turnovers. How many points did we get out of it? Nothing. You have to score. You have to capitalize on those turnovers. So I'm glad you pointed that out, Link, for real. Even though it still didn't feel like we got a lot of turnovers, but we still got to capitalize on those turnovers. Matt said we're going to pass to set up hoop. We're going to pass to set up the run, or the run to set up the pass.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at him at Washington, they ran to set up the pass. You know what I mean? If you look at him at Seattle, they, you know, it just what you pulling from Washington against Oregon, they ran the ball to set up counters down the field. If you look at him in Seattle, sometimes they came out gunning without running the ball because the running game was so bad. You just never know, man. I think every year is different. The personnel is different. Grubb is a 12 personnel guy. So you would think they would run the ball to create matchups in the passing game. This guy loves running a lot of screens to the wide receiver, not the running back. So you would look for that, but you just never know, Matt. You never really know until the season starts and see how teams play you. Would teams play us on our film based off last year, as they should, right? If teams come out playing us in man, right, we're going to run the football, make them create resources, right? If teams come out playing zone on us to death, right, we'll throw it underneath all day long, right? If they come out playing man, we'll run man beaters all day long. They come out, you know, it's 2 safety high, right? You know, we'll run the ball on them until the cows come home. It all depends, man. It all depends on how these teams play.
Dwight, you missed a lot, man. We were going down the schedule, man, just talking about the potential losses. So far, me and Coach Sean agree on the same 2 losses, which is Georgia and South Carolina, which are 2 away games for the most part. But Anybody coming in, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Also, if you guys or follow me on Twitter, make sure y'all retweet tell everybody we over here. Come on down. If they're not subscribed to the show, come on down. Definitely give you guys opinions. Ask your question. Please ask your question. Like I tell you, this is pretty much the all season and then the dead period. So asking questions will actually make the show a lot easier. I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but trust me, it's a struggle even coming up with topics at this time of the season because I don't want to sound like we just talking about the same thing over and over. But I know we haven't talked about the schedule, so definitely appreciate you guys. Hit that like button and all that. And we're gonna tackle these last three, which is Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and of course Auburn. We got 2 home games before we go down to Jordan here. Oklahoma is a homecoming game, and it's definitely going to be a good one because they did an amazing job in transfer portal getting a quarterback out of Washington State. I forgot his name just that quick. I don't know how. I like hard as that running back that they got out of Cal.
Yeah.
I think they also got William. I always get his last name wrong. William Neri out of Missouri, former 5-star. If I'm not mistaken, that they got him, but some just telling me he's not there. But I think David Stone, they kept David Stone from going to the transfer portal. So Oklahoma is going to be ready, and they're going to be coming off a bye. Well, they're going to have a bye week when we play LSU. So Brent Venables has 2 weeks to prepare for us again, which Ryan Grubb needs to be prepared for that because I do not want to see a performance like how we put up in Norman last year. That is an interesting game. I believe we have enough on defense to beat those guys and enough on offense to beat those guys. I'm not counting that as a potential loss. Eastern Illinois is just pretty much stats game. They coming down here to get their money, but like I said, you need to treat every game like it's the Super Bowl. So just go ahead and dominate early, get some of those young guys in there, get some reps so they can be better. And of course, our little brother of the state, Auburn. Matter of fact, I'm sorry, not little brother, little sisters of the state, Auburn. They did a great job in the transfer portal. It gave a lot of hype last year to the Freeze 4, but they go out and get a receiver out the transfer portal, Chris Singleton Jr., who is also a good football player out of Georgia Tech. Get Jackson Arnold and get a bunch of recruits. Cam Coleman, I believe, is going to have another big year this year. So everybody just check out, watch out for them Auburn Tigers for the most part. It's just them being at their house. That can be a potential loss only because it's Jordan Hare and it's rivalry week. Those guys play, when they see us, they play like 6 stars. Not 5 stars, 6 stars. Everything seemed to go their way. And I always say, man, just go in there and take care of business early. If the game is like close in any type of way, going into that second half, I know it's going to be a long game. It can go either way. It's just all about who makes the mistake and all that. So, but Auburn is the only one I see that is a potential loss, I believe. Oklahoma, they're going to be extremely focused for that game, just how they embarrassed us. But what you think, Coach Sean?
Man, I don't see how nobody could not put Auburn as a potential loss. I don't think Oklahoma going to beat us next year. I think that team going to be fired up. I think Vanderbilt and Oklahoma going to be no problem to get that team's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma embarrassed us last year, and they talked a lot online and let them know it. That team going to be focused for Oklahoma to come to Tuscaloosa. I see an ass whooping that game. I see an ass whooping. I see Belt to ass that game. I see Bama clicking on all cylinders, and I see Belt to straight ass that game. I don't feel nowhere near as nervous about that game as I did last year. The South Carolina game is taking that place. The Oklahoma game, I don't feel nervous at all. I think that team will come out peaking and will put belt to ass that game. I really do. They got embarrassed by Oklahoma, and I really feel like it's going to be some retribution coming for that game. I really do. I think Tuscaloosa going to be live. The Oklahoma fans hadn't been to Tuscaloosa in a while. Tuscaloosa will be jumping that night. I feel like the team is going to go. That game will be talked about all week because of what happened last year. I think the coaches, I think that week of practice will be razor sharp. I see belt to ass that game, so I'm not worried about that game. Eastern Illinois, they'll come back down to earth. They'll struggle a little while in the first quarter, start hitting their cylinders, coming off a big win, and they'll pull away from Eastern Illinois. The Auburn game is the game that I see potential. I don't think we'll lose, but I see is a potential there. And before you hit me with we can't lose that game. Think back Dayton all the way to Jalen Hurts. When's the last time that we almost didn't lose at Auburn? Think back to Jalen Hurts. Think back to Mac Jones when he threw the 2 interceptions, right? Think back to Bryce Young when Bryce had to work his magic against John Mechie in overtime. When Ja'Cory Brooks caught the ball and sent us into overtime, and we and Mechie caught the ball and we escaped by the hairs of our chin. Think about 2 years later, you got Jalen Milroe and the Grave Digger or whatever it's called. When have we not almost lost at Auburn of recent memory? Every time we go there, we almost lose. So hell yeah, that's a potential loss. Hell yeah. I don't care if they 0-11. Just like Brinsky said, that game they play like 6 stars. That's the truth. We've taken some much more talented teams to Auburn and almost got our asses whipped because crazy things happen down there. Like I said, go back to Jalen Hurts, right? That year when Auburn made the I can't remember what was going on. I think they beat us one year. 2 years later, it was Mac Jones. 2 interceptions there, a pick 6, and Najee had to hawk the dude down, if I remember, or something. He was trying to throw the ball to Najee, and the ball was behind Najee. We almost lost then. If we
we lost that game.
We did lose that game. Okay, we did lose that game.
That's Mac Jones game that he started.
Yeah, think about 2 years later. Bryce Young working magic. We down. We started from the end zone. We drove the length of the field. Ja'Cory Brooks catches the ball. Mechie catches the ball, sent us out. We celebrating. We almost lost that year. Then obviously Grave Digger. So when do we ever go to Auburn and destroy them? We hadn't in recent memory. So I feel like this will be no different. They got a quarterback who can play. They got a young defense who will be a year older. I think that's a potential. I don't think we'll lose that game, but I think it's a potential, right? That entire schedule, I see 3 games that we could potentially lose if we don't take care of our business. Now, we easily could go 12-0. We easily could go 11-1, 10-2. But I see 9-3. Or 9-3, regular season again, right? So, it just all depends on how you look at it. Shout out to Coach Al.
Yeah. Remember the Royal Upchurch catch? That was a national championship year, and I was there for that game.
And how long ago was that? So to Brinsky's and Coach Al's point, it goes to support what I said. We've almost lost and have lost several games at Auburn. You know what kept Gus Malzahn around, even though he went 8-4 for several seasons? He beat Alabama more than any other Auburn coach in recent memory. Right? So, yeah, that's a potential loss. Probably more than any other team, any other game on the schedule. Yes, that's a potential loss. Potential. Not saying we will, but potential.
Yeah, man. I don't know how anybody can just feel so confident. Just everything you just said with an awesome breakdown of every game, pretty much every game since like that Roy Upchurch game.
That's facts.
Man, because if we playing at home, then it's like a different story. Alabama play lights out.
Yeah.
It's just something when they step foot in that stadium. Auburn just plays like 6 stars. I don't know. They can be 0-11, but they play like they're undefeated when they see us, man. And it's just
stupid kick 6 game.
Yeah, man. It's a nail biter every game, man, when it comes to those type of games. So everybody that is so confident about that game, y'all need to go ahead and check them and just ask them what game you seen us dominate in Jordan Hare. If anybody say we dominated in Jordan Hare this year, whatever year that comes out their mouth, they ain't watching the game. They thinking about Tuscaloosa and what we doing. I said, Jordan Hare. When we go in there, man, we just play different, or they play different. So
yeah,
that's
that crowd.
definitely.
Auburn has one of the, you know, won't nobody say this, and I would never tell Tez this, but Auburn has one of the best crowds in the SEC, brother.
Yeah, they do.
You know, and to be quite frank, and it's gonna hurt some people's feelings, but it's the truth, brother. Can't tell me. Auburn's crowd is like Alabama's used to be. You know what I'm saying? If you think Alabama's home crowd is louder than Auburn's, you lying to yourself. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. Brian Denny used to be. It used to back in 2016 when Jonathan Allen, man, it wasn't the loudest stadium in the country. Of late, we don't even cheer when the starters are announced. They just clap. Woo! Auburn, you can't hear yourself think from the time you walk in that rascal. You know what I mean? You know, fans talk about coaches all the time, but fans need to step it up too as well.
Stevie G said, "Trust me, you guys can dominate with mashed potato." Jackson Arnold being their quarterback. See, hey man, I don't care who's the quarterback. TJ Finley was their quarterback, and we struggled.
That kid last year looked like a Heisman Trophy candidate against us last year, and he was terrible. What's the kid from last year?
I forgot his name just that quick. And they always talk bad. Y'all help us out, man. Who was Auburn quarterback last year?
I forgot his name.
But he played. He didn't play good as good. Well, we almost lost.
Peyton Thorne.
Peyton Thorne. Thank you, Peyton Thorne. Man.
Look how we made him look. Look how we made him look. So and don't get it twisted, man. You hear it here first. Jackson Arnold is not as bad as y'all make him out to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, right? Jackson Arnold, for whatever you want to say, he beat Alabama.
Yep.
And damn near didn't have to throw a pass.
Facts.
So whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's what I said, man. TJ Finley was their quarterback. Peyton Thorne was their quarterback. Like, you guys are not about to sit here and try to convince me that that's why I said, Steven, I know you a Oklahoma guy, but I'm telling you, man, you guys witnessed Jordan Hare last year when you guys went in there. You guys just lucky to squeak out a win. But you see, I was trying to tell the Oklahoma guys all year long, like, that's Alabama. That ain't us. All right. And then they went in there and they found out. They just got lucky with that pick six. If they easily just run the ball, it's game over.
That's facts.
So
I watched Auburn beat us with a dude that didn't even play quarterback in the pros. He played defensive back. He was so bad at QB, he couldn't even play quarterback. Nick Marshall.
Mm-hmm.
That cat played corner. He went from quarterback to corner. And they used to wear our ass out with that dude.
Mm-hmm. So man, that's why I said, man, I'm telling you, man, we seen it. That's why I hate when I don't even like being around people doing the Iron Bowl because it's just certain people just talking. They're like, oh man, we're gonna blow them out. The second I hear that, man, I want to walk away. That's why I don't
facts, man.
do like Iron Bowl parties or go to it because it's just really a lot of sporting events like that. When it's like something really, really big, because I hear some of the biggest nonsense. It'd be like 3rd and 25, and be like, why you just ain't run a screen? It's just anything, just anything, man. Like,
oh my
what?
God, bro.
I'm like, man, you just hear some of the most asinine things, man, when you watching games with just. You could just tell who really don't watch the game or don't know the game for real. So that was like, man, y'all, like I said, do not sleep on November 29th.
That's a whole fact, man.
Thanksgiving weekend. So, yeah, man. So potentially we can be 9-3 at worst based on how we've been looking at the schedule. We can be 10-2. We can be 11-1. We can be undefeated going into the SEC championship game. If we go undefeated, of course, we'll be in the SEC championship game. But only time would tell, man, with that. But I don't know.
For me, man, we just got to do. We man, it's just a whole bunch, man. It's everything's setting up for us great, right? Everything's setting up great. I ain't taking nothing from that, man. I just, you know me, man. I used to tell the fellas when we used to be on Kyle show, I got to see it, bro. Yeah. I'm not one of these. We gonna win 11 games. If you remember, we all picked last year. I said 10-2, right? I said 10-2, and I was pressing myself to say 10-2. I think we have the talent to win. I didn't feel like this last year. This year, I feel like we have the talent to win every game on the damn schedule. Alabama has the talent to beat anybody on their schedule, man. Right? But if it was just about rolling your helmet out there, hell, we'd be undefeated last year, right? Don't look now. Don't look now, but we lost to Vanderbilt. Don't look now, but Oklahoma whipped our asses. Wasn't even no close game, right? You got to go play, bro. That A on your helmet or that number or whatever the hell we have on there, this ain't 2016 where everybody trembling in fear. Them days is over with. So you got to go establish your identity this year and put belt to ass. That's just what you got to do, bro. You got to. That's just the bottom line.
Man, just you saying that, and I got one more topic for everybody, and the topic gonna be sleeper teams. Well, it's not even sleeper teams. We can either do sleeper teams that can win the national championship, or teams that actually we can do both. Sleeper teams that can win the national championship, who actually can, and teams that can really actually contend for a national championship. So you guys can just give me both, but I'm just gonna say this real quick before we go to it. But it was something that Michael Jordan was saying in the Last Dance. Like, man, when they had Steve Kerr and they had Jed Bushler, all those guys, Tony Kukoc, those guys weren't there for the first three-peat. Only people returning was basically Phil, Scotty, and himself.
Yeah.
And those guys thinking that, like, these are not the same bull. These guys wearing this uniform, like, they won those 3 titles. They was there.
Facts.
They wasn't there. They didn't go through the grind that we went through to get to those 3 championships. What those Alabama teams did in the past with Jonathan Allen, the Minkah Fitzpatrick, the Jalen Hurts, the Bryce Youngs, the Will Anderson, Pat Surtain, so on and so forth. Those days, those are those guys. Those guys lived up to the standard. It's time for these guys to live up to the standard. That A don't mean nothing if you ain't living up to it.
It's facts, man.
It's just like the Patriots. Any big dynasty with Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, at a certain point, like the Patriots, with like you got new guys with Edelman and Gronk on that team, and McCarty. Either you gonna live up to it because Vince Wilfork, ain't no Rodney Harrison in here, ain't no Deion Branch in here that won it before, ain't no Ty Law in here. When you guys gonna make your stamp on this mark, and that's what they did. It's time for those guys to live up to that standard now. And Coach Al said momentum is real, continuously is working for us on both sides of the ball, and with the coaching staff, a healthy team with memories of last year, embarrassments will be serious motivation this year. Big facts.
That's big facts. That's exactly what we talked about. Never forget. Never what Coach Saban used to say. Never waste a loss. You know what I'm saying?
Never waste a loss, man. That's what I said, man. You got to remember these things. Either you're gonna live up to the standard or you're not. You either gonna make history or you're gonna be history. It's gonna be one of the two.
That's facts.
So, and last year we were history. So are we gonna make history this year or be history? But like I said, I don't know. Said Brisket ask Coach that question. He said, what screen? Why not a screen if they playing back? LOL. Of course, I'm being funny, Coach. Of those, I'm back. I'm in a back of the class.
Yeah,
I'm in the back
and
of the
he
class.
know he shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Nate Bone, man. You know what I mean? Hey, Coach Al, he was coaching Georgia too. At God, I forgot. Nat. You got to
Put
put
it
it
in the chat.
in the chat, man. I forgot well, but and he knows this. I think he asked for somebody else. He knows on a screenplay, man. It ain't necessarily about catching them downfield. You got to catch them rushing upfield. That's what people don't understand. You know, it don't matter if they're in a zone or whatever the case may be. You got to catch the defense rushing upfield, right? So you can get those matchups between your blockers and the guys rushing upfield. So they can pretty much overrun the damn play, right? Then when you throw the ball over their head, catch the ball, then you can release with your blockers in front of you. So the screen pass ain't really about how many people drop back. It's how many people can you get to rush upfield, you know, with potential of throwing the ball over their head. That's what set the whole dadgum thing up.
Yeah. But everybody, give me it's gonna be our he said Frederick Douglass. So but last topic, y'all, this ain't gonna be long. Just we're gonna start with you, Coach. Just any team that you just say a sleeper team that can actually win the national championship. I ain't just talking about just getting in there. I'm talking about actually winning it. Who you think can actually go out there and win it?
Other than it, does it got to be SEC or anybody?
It can be anybody. It can be anybody. Because I don't believe
y'all gonna laugh when I say this, man. You're gonna laugh when I say this, right? But I assure you're not gonna laugh when the season starts. Let me tell you why I say this team, because they got a lot of people back. They got a quarterback back who struggled in big games last year, who's heard all the noise, right? Not super talented, right? But definitely scheme versed. He understand. They got some players back on the defense. Anytime you can have a quarterback back, continuity with your coaches, defensive line back, and a healthy offensive line, you're gonna have opportunity to win some games, man. And I say this team can not only get in, but if you with the right matchup, they can win it. They can win it, bro. Laugh now. And that's Clemson. That's Clemson. You can say what you want to say, bro, but I'm telling y'all, they got a lot of people back, man. They got a lot of people back. They didn't lose a lot of folks. Sure, SEC put belt to their asses last year. Clemson is going to be a problem this year, man. And you really won't find out how good they are till later on the season.
I'm not going to lie to you, Coach. You had me scared for a second because I said, I know damn well this man ain't about to say no Penn State. It felt like he was setting up that way. I said, yes, I'm laughing at you. And I was like, no, brother. Man. It just when you said the quarterback and a lot of noise, I was like, oh Lord, that sounds like Penn State right there. Oh boy,
never.
I had to bet my bottom dollar. I thought that where you was going.
Never.
Yeah, Link said the same thing. Clemson, man, and that's where I'm going to.
I tell you,
Clemson, man, Clemson has a lot of guys with TJ Parker and AJ Terrell, little brother, back there, gonna be one of the top corners with Peter Woods, Clay Klubnik coming back. I believe he's gonna be better this year. I forgot wide receiver, 5-star wide receiver. He was highly touted. It started with a W. Somebody put it in the chat. 5-star wide receiver last year that went to Clemson. He had a decent year with those guys. It all depends on how they don't start with Georgia this year, do they?
I think that no, they don't.
They play LSU. That's who it is. and I think LSU comes to them. Those guys win that game.
That's facts.
That's going to be pretty much. I don't think they scheduled that. I don't think they play Miami with Carson. How about to say Carson Vincent? Shout out to Carson Vincent, Alabama A&M.
Facts.
But
Creed,
yeah, Carson Beck over there. So
I know they got that left tackle back, Tristan Lee. He gonna probably be a first rounder. He'll be back. That Bryant Wesco kid.
Yeah, Brian Wesco. There you go.
That's a baller. He's a baller. The offense wasn't the issue. He about a quarterback. You know, he's a year older. That Sammy Brown, that linebacker back. He back. Man, Peter Woods back. TJ Parker back. So I'm telling y'all now, you hear it from me now. Clemson's gonna make some noise.
They definitely are. That was it, man. That the LSU game gonna tell a lot. How they start off the year is going to be really, really interesting. So don't be surprised now.
That's going to be a good game, man. That's going to be a good game.
You heard it from Coach Sean first.
Yeah.
He trying to tell you. So if he just throwing up the shoulder like, oh, I didn't expect Clemson to be like that. Nah, somebody tried to tell you.
They're going to win the ACC.
I believe so too.
I mean, that ain't too freaking hard to do, right? Yeah. But I knew they was going to struggle on the back end last year. They had two young corner. They had one old corner, a young safety, and a young corner, right? Really young. I think them dudes might have been freshmen or redshirt freshmen. So I knew they play man. They play a lot of man. I told Brinsk, I said, they're going to play man against Texas, and Texas is going to kill them. They're going to kill them in the passing game. You can't get in the playoffs and change who you are. They're going to play man. Texas is going to throw the ball right over their head. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
What backer did they get from us, Coach? And I do know they got Jeremiah Alexander over there, so he gonna make some noise over there too.
Dang, I forgot about he over there. Yeah.
So man, y'all can say, and we all got on Dabo, man, not adjusting. That's just life in general. Dabo has stuck to his guns, and I believe he was a little bit ahead of his time, which I got to give him his credit for. Is that he did not he was talking about Jeremiah. Cool. And he stuck to his guns and saying, once you commit, you can't go nowhere else. Which I love, man. And especially in this day and time, because that always bothered me, which I always agree with him. I'm like, man, take your time, go everywhere 1,000 times if you need to. But once you commit, that's what it means, commit. You don't ask a girl to be your girlfriend, then I'm gonna go lay up with another girl.
I think what's gonna make these kids good is Dabo, however he uses NIL, he used it to keep his team together. He didn't go out and get a bunch of other people, you know, player here, player there. But Khalil Barnes, them two corners, man, Lucas and Avion Terrell. I think it's Avion Terrell.
That's AJ Terrell, little brother.
Them boys is back, man. They was young. That's I told Brent. Do you remember Brinsky last when they played Texas? I said, Clemson play man. They love playing that leverage. That man, Texas gonna eat off of them if they go out there and do that. And that's exactly what Texas did. They bombed the ball downfield. That's gonna be a strength. It's just kind of like us. That's gonna be a strength of Clemson's coming up this season.
So yeah, man. Yep. He said Clemson took 4 players on the portal.
Yeah, not many.
Yeah, man. I'm going to tell you, man. Like, man, he uses the portal right, man. You keep your main guys and you just bring in little guys here and there. And I believe Jeremiah Alexander is going to have a great year with Clemson, man. He's gonna eat over there in the ACC.
Look up. I think it's either Devontae or DeMonte Capehart. If somebody out there in the chat, Google, it's either DeMonte or Devontae Capehart or Caphart. I think it's CAPEHART. He a defensive lineman. Google that cat or type him in. He's a monster. He's a monster, bro. I think he came back. I don't think that kid went to the pros. I don't think he went to the pros. I might be wrong, but I don't think he did. It's either DeMonte or Devontae Capehart. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And check and see if he back at Clemson. If somebody will fact check me in the chat. Where my phone at, man? I'll look at it.
Come on, y'all, man. Wait. We on the show, man. Y'all gotta help us out, man. Help us out.
I think it's DeMonte. Hold on. DeMonte Capehart. CAPE. Yeah, right here. This cat right here. He's a killer. He's a killer. Let me see.
Where he coming from?
Clemson, 6'5", 315. He was a killer last year, bro. He's back. And he's a killer, straight up. That cat may potentially rival any defensive front member we have. And they got him and Peter Woods back. And that's the straight up truth. Clemson, trust me when I tell you they're going to be a problem out there in the ACC.
Yeah, y'all, man. Of course. It's one of those shows. We talked a lot of college football this week. I mean, for this episode. Next episode probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. Definitely gonna be talking about what position I said we was gonna do. Middle linebackers and cornerbacks of the last 25 years in college football. Rules are, ladies and gentlemen, they have to be a freshman in 2000, not 99, 98. They have to be a freshman in 2000 all the way up to this year. So
you said middle linebackers and what?
Best middle linebacker, and cornerback.
Corners. All right.
Since 2000. And Coach Sean was the one that pointed out, said they have no edges, no edges, no none of that.
No safeties.
No safeties. Corners. So definitely check out Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know yet. Also, we're gonna touch up on NBA finals a little bit, just see who you guys have winning in how many games. So be on the lookout. I'll probably drop it, like I said, either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on everybody's schedule. Because I want everybody to be up here because I really want to hear everybody's top 5 and they honorable mention for these middle linebackers and cornerbacks and whatever else topics we come up with. But like I say, man, this is time. Well, I really, really love hearing from you guys to drop y'all questions so we can answer. That'd be the funnest part of this whole show when we be potting. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, definitely appreciate you guys. And of course, we're gonna let Coach Sean say his channel. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. You guys definitely go over there and subscribe to the channel. And we're gonna get up out of here. So, Coach Sean, go ahead.
Much love to Brinsky as always for bringing me on. I had a great time as I usually do over here. Really warmed my heart to see Coach Carl back in the chat, man. Praying for my brother for sure. Much love to Coach Carl. Much love to Coach Al. Much love to Ty Hayes, Jan 716, Piano Man. Practically everybody that we tap in with, Tez, both Jasons, Oklahoma Jason, Hall of Fame Sports, and Jason Walker. Just everybody that we tap in with, man. Much love to Justin from TDA, Clint Lamb. Like I said, my man Ty Hayes, always, all the fellas. John, Kangaroo Black, KB, man. I much love to KB. Marvin, all Justin, everybody TDA, John, who moving down, by the way. Safe travels to John.
No, he already made it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Already made it, so he is.
Yeah, man. Much love to all the Bama content creators who doing their thing, man. Kyle still over there doing his thing at Bama Football on YouTube. Shout out to Kyle and T that's still doing their thing. Just shout out to everybody, man. Thank you to everybody who in the chat, man, who came to support us. We really appreciate you guys, man, tapping in with us on a Sunday. But you can definitely find me at JMHO Sports Talk. That's just my humble opinion on YouTube and Twitter.
And of course, I just dropped this link in there. It's just simple, ladies and gentlemen. Simple 2 clicks. Bam, bam. Click on the link and subscribe to the channel. It's 2 simple clicks. Going over there and subscribe to his channel. And he's definitely gonna pick up on his channel a lot
Yeah.
more. And one thing I can't wait to see is really, I think, where he's going to shine at. And I'm going to call out George T to be on that channel with you. Talk about it. I know how much you respect him and his breakdown of the games. Just
Love
something
it.
like a coach's corner with you, Coach Al, him, and all y'all just breaking down film, man. I just feel like a kid at a candy store just seeing all this. See what you guys see that me as a fan don't normally see until you guys tell us. And then that's when I started seeing it. So definitely y'all be on the lookout for that. So George T, if you're out there, definitely we're gonna make that happen. We gotta speak these things into existence.
Shout out
Uh,
to T's Take, the whole channel, George, JT. Those guys
mhm.
do a absolute great job. I love that channel. That's more my style. Brinsky and them can tell you these kids' names and when they commit and when they having watch party. I don't know nothing about none of that. Just holler at me when they commit to Bama.
Yeah,
I'll watch them and look at them and see what we think.
and
I
that's
I I, I really am more in the George T mode. I like talking about schematically what we doing, watching these kids and divulging what we think they're gonna be good at, what he play. That's more my thing. And just really enjoy what George and his son do. They do a hell of a job, man.
yeah, man. Dwight say his son good at breaking down
Oh
games.
yeah, defense.
Yeah.
JT and wherever my homeboy Jake Merrill is at, need their own show. Shout out to Jake Merrill, wherever my brother Jake is. We love you, broski.
Oh yeah.
Right? Jake was my defensive guy. Whenever I would be stymied on something like, man, why are they dropping? Jake was be the guy I used to always call. We stay on the phone for hours going back and forth about this and that and having a good time. So those guys do it defensively. Coach Carl, too. You want them defensive guy, Coach Jantz, man, them dudes. You put them dudes together.
The nephew. I
Awesome.
said and I want everybody to hold me to that. I said by September 1st or before that, we're gonna have Jake back. Even if it's just for a guest appearance, we're gonna get Jake back on here.
Got to, man.
I'm
Got to.
telling you, we praying everything's good with the brother, man.
Facts.
We miss him over here. It's
Big
all
time.
up. So definitely, man, we're gonna definitely get him back over here. So yeah. I like watching George and his son break down Alabama during the see. But that's why I said, man, definitely be on the lookout for Coach Sean doing that more. Cause I would love to see just um, Coach Carl, Coach Al, just be in there. And my boy Phil. Shout out to my boy Phil. I tell you, he been ready to come on the show, man. It just been me BSing, but I want him to be up here with Coach Sean and Coach Al and Coach Carl to talk ball, man, because he really want to he a young football coach, just trying to learn more and just be ready when the time comes when he actually the head man in charge, wherever that may be. It could be at the high school level, could be at the college level, or beyond. But definitely can't wait for that episode. So when y'all finally get to meet Philander Browder, I had to call out his full government name. He is definitely y'all gonna love him, man. He gonna tell you everything you need to know about Cam Coleman, man. They still have a close relationship, and all those guys that he had at Central that's now playing Division I football at wide receiver. And definitely we're gonna get some interviews out too, and Coach Sean gonna be up here. And I'm gonna tell him one of the guys I'm gonna ask him today, can he come on the show? And I definitely want him to be up here. So be on the lookout. I'm gonna try to do that in less than a week. If not, it's gonna be sometime this month, but we're gonna see. But
Big
appreciate all. Go ahead,
big
please.
shout out to AJ McCarron and Trent Richardson, along with Chris Stewart.
Yes.
There's a new podcast called The Dynasty, man.
Mhm.
Really enjoy that podcast, hearing these guys who played within the walls of Bryant Denny. Check them
Mhm.
guys out, man. They doing big things over there as well, too.
Yeah, man. That I feel like a lot of stuff that they say, man, just needs to be said. Like when he said,
Yeah.
when is enough, man? Like for real.
We had already talked about that. I
Yeah.
tweeted that they said the same thing
Mhm.
that me and these guys on this channel said 3-4 weeks ago about adding all these games to these college kids and how it's about money and how it's missing me with the student athlete. Take the student out of that. Just call them athletes. Nobody cares about your biology test no more. How can we get more games and more money? This is not the NFL. These kids still go. We talked about all this.
Yep.
We talked about all this. And AJ and Trent said the exact same thing. Shout out to them boys.
No, yeah, man. Definitely can't wait to see when they drop more content. And don't be surprised if y'all see them over here or see them on Coach Sean channel, man. A lot of people watch stuff like that. I only had one surprise of somebody saying that they like what we doing, and I'm gonna wait to that day when they come up on the channel, man, so they can just say that. I was like, damn, appreciate that. Didn't I know you was watching that? He's like,
bro.
Keep on doing what you're doing. I was like, damn, definitely appreciate that. So that gave me even more confidence to do that. But like I said, man, appreciate everybody out there, man. Of course, Miss Janet not here, but she's gonna actually go back and play this and see if I did do this. Y'all know, help them trees forever and a day. We're gonna go down to Jordan Hare and beat their ass. Even though I'm not saying that with all the confidence in the world. It may be a close win, but we're gonna go beat their ass. You gotta speak things in existence.
Shout out to Dwight. Shout out to Kanafi. Shout out to Tuskegee University and Alabama A&M University.
And Jackson State University.
And Jackson State, Coach Al. Forgot about that. Yes.
So catch y'all on the next
Katrina
one.
too. Shout out
and
to
Katrina. Oh yes. Appreciate you guys and roll damn tide.
Roll tide.